Burkina Faso, a landlocked country in West Africa, has recently made headlines with President Ibrahim Traoré's announcement to abandon the colonial currency, the CFA franc, which has been imposed on the country by its former colonial master, France. This decision marks a significant step towards economic independence and sovereignty for Burkina Faso and its people. Furthermore, President Traoré's recent interview, where he emphasized the need to create a sovereign country for his people, sheds light on the broader implications of this move, not only for Burkina Faso but for other African nations as well. In this vlog, we are going to be talking about President Ibrahim Traoré's bold decision to abandon the colonial currency CFA francs, a currency which has seen France, one of the world's laziest colonial master and imperialist, enrich itself and build a strong economy for its own citizen using resources from its former colonies, while citizens of these former colonies remained perpetually poor and broken due to the lack of a good standard of living. But before we do that, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to Proudly Motherland. On this channel, we strive to bring to you a different angle and perspective to issues affecting the richest continent and people on Earth. Hit the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and leave your comments and let us know what you think. The CFA franc is a currency that is used in 14 African countries, most of which are former French colonies. It was created in 1945 and has been pegged to the euro since 1999. While proponents argue that the CFA franc provides stability and facilitates trade with France, critics argue that it is a relic of colonialism that hinders economic development and sovereignty. Opponents of the decision, however, argue that abandoning the CFA franc could lead to economic instability and uncertainty. They argue that the CFA franc provides stability and facilitates trade with France, which is Burkina Faso's largest trading partner. President Ibrahim Traoré's decision to abandon the CFA franc is a bold move that has been met with both praise and criticism. Supporters of the decision argue that it is a step towards economic independence and sovereignty for Burkina Faso. They argue that the CFA franc is a symbol of colonialism, and that abandoning it will allow Burkina Faso to pursue its own economic policies and development strategies. In a recent interview, President Traoré emphasized the need to create a sovereign country for his people. He argued that the CFA franc is a symbol of the continued influence of France in Burkina Faso and other African countries. He also argued that abandoning the CFA franc is a step towards economic independence and sovereignty for Burkina Faso. In that same interview, President Traoré highlighted the broader implications of Burkina Faso's decision to abandon the CFA franc. He sees no reason being chained to systems that do not help improve the life of his people, but rather enrich and improve the lives of former colonial masters' people, thousands of miles away from Burkina Faso's shores. President Ibrahim Traoré, who has been on a paradigm change and visionary mission to give to his people all that the colonial master France stole from them in the name of belonging to the French dynasty. He has been taking bold steps, partnering with global powers who equally stand for the complete end of exploitation to the people in Africa. Some of such moves have shocked and angered Burkina Faso's former colonial master, France. Days after Burkina Faso, Mali and Niger announced last month they were quitting the West Africa Political Union ECOWAS, Burkina Faso's military ruler, Ibrahim Traoré, was already naming his next target, which is the region's CFA franc currency. It's not just the currency. Anything that maintains us in slavery, we'll break those bonds, the 35-year-old army captain turned coup leader said in an interview posted on YouTube. As a member of the recently created confederation known as the Alliance of Sahel States, or AES, Burkina Faso, Mali, and the Republic of Niger jointly announced they were going to liberate themselves from everything concerning France. Having kicked out French soldiers and rolled back a UN mission in Mali, these states have consistently shown they value sovereignty over expediency. Their attitude towards the euro-pegged CFA franc appears no different, although economists and experts say dumping the CFA franc would be riskier and significantly more complicated than withdrawing from ECOWAS, a move seen as a bold, if potentially ill-advised, act of defiance. Last November, the finance ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger said they would weigh the option of setting up a monetary union, and top officials from all three countries have, to varying degrees, voiced support for abandoning the CFA currency imposed on them by colonial master France. The decision by these countries highlights the importance of having control over your currency. Printing your own currency allows a country to set its monetary policy, control inflation, and stimulate economic growth. It also symbolizes a move towards self-reliance and away from the legacy of colonialism. The ability to print your own currency is crucial for economic development. It allows countries to tailor their monetary policy to their specific needs and respond to economic challenges more effectively. This move by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger is a wake-up call for other African countries still using the CFA franc. It's time for them to reconsider their ties to the colonial past and embrace their financial independence. The CFA franc has been a controversial topic in Africa, with many calling for its abolition. The decision by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger could pave the way for other French-speaking African countries to follow suit. Every French-speaking African country should have the right to print its own currency and determine its economic future. The CFA franc is a relic of the past, and it's time for these countries to break free from its chains. In conclusion, the recent decision by Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger to create their own currency is a step in the right direction. It highlights the importance of countries being able to print their own currency and control their economic destiny. It's time for every French-speaking African country to abandon the CFA franc and embrace financial independence. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on important global issues.